Here is Scott Cuthbert, Victoria's head coach of the Independence Patriots, after another big regional win, stay undefeated in the region. Obviously you have another one coming up this week. We'll talk about that later. But I want to start off with Chance and 86 pitches and a complete game, 7 innings.
Yeah, he was really economical tonight. I don't know if he had his best fastball because James Monroe did a better job of putting the ball in play than we played him last time. But we was able to play. We made most of the plays in the field. I think we play like it. We have a pretty solid defense and behind him. So we made all the routine plays, and if you do that, good things are going to happen in high school.
Yeah. With this, I can't remember who you pitched last. Was it him or was it
against them?
Yeah, last time I played.
He pitched against them last time.
Okay, so take me through, because I don't want to be precise. I know how you are. You won't tip your cap eventually. But I would imagine that with the Wyoming East game looming, it'll probably be Brady that might get the ball for that game. Talk to me about, having these teams see the same pitcher twice.
Well, it was this time we wasn't really planning on it, to be honest. It was musty. Brady had a blister problem last week, so we wanted to give him more time to rest. And I still got BK and I still have Deegan too. So, we haven't totally decided. Deegan pitched really good his last outing, and so did BK. So, we'll have to see. I would say right now, if you ask me, we're leaning towards Brady, but 2 days from now, I don't know for sure. But the biggest reason that we pitched Chance both times against him was because of Brady's blister issue, and plus, I think Chance threw on Tuesday last week, so he had a whole week's rest. I think Brady threw Thursday as well, so 4 days rest is a little rough, especially pulling with that injury. But we have to see. We got Summers on Friday and Charleston Catholic on Saturday and Liberty next Monday, so it doesn't ever end unless it rains. So we just have to keep trying to get ready, because last time we played Charleston Catholic, we couldn't throw nobody. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, and take me through that, because this week you have 6 games this week, right?
Yeah,
that's
6.
Kind of insane even for a baseball schedule.
It was. I didn't really, when we first did it, I didn't realize it. But once I scheduled them, I'm going to honor most of them. You always expect you might lose 1 or 2 a week because of rain, and this spring has been wild. I think since we've had 1 rain out for the whole season so far.
Insane after the winter we had with basketball.
Yeah, it's crazy, because I thought we might lose today, and we come down here and it's perfect, because it must have rained a little harder at home than it did here, because my field today was pretty wet. Now tomorrow the forecast don't look good, but it is what it is. It's one chance you get to see, we threw Andrew yesterday, and he pitched an awesome game against a pretty solid Princeton team, especially with Brody on the mound. So it just lets you find pitchers. We wouldn't have, if you didn't have that, we wouldn't have thrown KJ or Brooks against Shady, or who we threw against Charleston Catholic, which was Brooks again and Hunter. So it let us find some arms as well. And if you're going to play against good teams at the end of the year, you might as well play them through the course of the year, is the way I look at it.
Absolutely. Talk about the approach to plate and how you guys handled it pretty well. Because obviously you get the run there in the first inning.
Yeah, we start off a little slow. It was good to see Deegan get going again. He's had bad luck recently, but we've been able to scratch that run early. To sometimes you get that run early, you can take a deep breath, but we have to be patient. They didn't throw who we thought we might see today, and we have to do a better job with off speed. We've seen a lot of hard throwers this year, so sometimes we do better with the higher velocity than we see a bunch of. We got to do better with the off speed stuff, but that's just
kind of like last year when you went to Shady and saw Sam.
But we're used to seeing, here lately, somebody else did that the other day. Charleston Catholic did. We've been seeing really good arms, and all of a sudden you see a lot slower arm. It takes you a while to adjust to. So, we just have to be patient, and, hopefully we can keep putting it in play. We'll see what happens these next few days.
Obviously, you have a lot of really good players having really good seasons. And I know he didn't have his best game at the plate today, but Chance has really been on a tear. He's blossomed into a breakout player. And, obviously there's still more to go in the season, but he's put up an all-state caliber season, not just as a pitcher, but as a hitter. I would talk about his progression because I know you leaned on him quite a bit as a pitcher last year, but he just kind of seemed to hit it
last
all.
year he didn't have much offense. He didn't. He struggled offensively at his opportunities, and he kind of exploded into it last week. He had 6 or 7 RBIs, but I mean, we've had a lot of guys step up this year because, I mean, he's improved his average 100 points, but, Mike has improved his average 150 points. Brady came over, and it's a different philosophy for what he's used to, and, he's kind of bought in, and so Andrew has really turned his around. Early we went from hitting farming to, he's been getting
scored
on
some
base
big runs,
and
get
stuff
some big
at
hits.
the bottom. He's a good bottom hitter for us. He had a freshman in the 3-hole. So, I mean, it's been kind of throughout. The last night, Chance gets a big hit, but, Tristan got a big hit right before him. So we've had different people in order to be able to step up, and that's a good thing to happen because your best player is not always going to have a great night, and you got to have other people around them anyways.
Appreciate it, Scott.